Hello and welcome to Rise Unwind. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week we try to talk to people from across the country about things you could do in your neighborhood. And on this week's show, we got this.
Well, how many years have we been married? 35?
Do we have to really tell everybody?
Well, it's just...
And this time of year, VCA offers 50% off one ER visit.
All of that and more right here on Rise and Unwind. What happens when ambition, loyalty, and survival collide in the oil fields of West Texas? Landman from Oscar-nominated creator Taylor Sheridan is back on Paramount Plus, and season 2 is already making waves. So joining me this morning are Jacob Lofland, who stars as Cooper Norris, and Mustafa Speaks, who brings serious intensity as Boss. Welcome to the show, you two. How are you?
Good.
Doing great. How are you?
Doing good. All right, season 2 dives right in. Where do we pick up with your characters and how have things changed since last season?
It's really a direct continuation. I think we're jumping right back into things, and yeah, we've got a filled season with a star-studded cast and some great writing to bring off the page, and hope the world loves it. And
Taylor Sheridan's shows always have this like raw, real energy. What's it like working with him and his storytelling world and getting that distinct Sheridan grit?
Well, for me, I can liken it to just being in the locker room, you know, in a football season, playing in a championship game. I mean, it's just that real, raw, authentic energy. And Taylor is just so focused and has such a vision for what it is he wants that you can trust his leadership, and that trickles all the way down.
Agreed. That's beautiful.
And the show captures both the boom and the burden of the oil industry. How did you both bring that emotional weight to your performances?
I think we were fortunate enough in the first season. They put us in a roughneck camp, and it really opened our eyes to the world and the dedication, the risk involved, the danger that's just element and looming every day. So that really helped us to put ourselves in it. When you realize what's on the line, what's at stake, right. It raises the bar just a touch.
And you both have worked on some pretty big projects like Joker 2, Joe Pickett, Maze Runner. What makes Landman stand out for you guys personally?
Well, for me, what stands out is just the story. I mean, of course, not taking anything away from all of the other projects, amazing projects I've worked on, but this just has a distinct stamp. And the stamp is what makes it so popular amongst the people is the authenticity and telling this story that otherwise would have never been told. The people that work in the oil field and control things that we need and use every day. So I absolutely love and gravitate toward real authentic projects like this.
And for anyone who hasn't started season 2 yet, what makes this the perfect time to catch up? And what moments are you most excited for viewers to actually see?
Well, it's a hard question. I don't think I have any moments specifically. I think as a whole, it's just there was so much hard work that went into this season, and it's such a great story. We get to dive into these characters and really get to know who they are, even more so than the first season. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to people's reaction to the entire thing in a whole.
All right.
Hey, I want to thank you two for joining me this morning. You could stream season 2 of Landman right now exclusively on Paramount Plus. It stars Billy Bob Thornton, Demi Moore, Andy Garcia, Sam Elliott, and of course, our guests, Jacob Lofland and Mustafa Speaks. It's a story of power, pressure, and survival in the heart of West Texas. Don't miss it. I want to thank you two for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure.
When a child is diagnosed with cancer, the impact hits every part of a family's life, not just health, but finances and the future. One program is stepping in with real support, scholarship for survivors and their siblings. So joining us to explain how it all works is Steve Radke, president of Northwestern Mutual Foundation. Let's welcome to the show. Steve, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on today.
All right, you guys are doing some amazing work. Well, can you explain the work that Northwestern Mutual has been doing to support families facing childhood cancer?
Sure. You know, every day, 1,000 children around the world are diagnosed with cancer. For more than a decade, Northwestern Mutual has been trying to end that. While a lot of our work revolves around trying to find better treatments and cures for childhood cancers, we also know that a cancer diagnosis can have an incredible emotional and financial impact on an entire family. In fact, studies show that 60% of families lose household income as a result of a childhood cancer diagnosis. So when you couple that with the rising cost of education, that prompted us to create a childhood cancer scholarship program.
And can you break this scholarships program down for us? How does it work, and who is it meant to help?
Yeah, so we're now in our 8th year of this program, and we provide college scholarships to those affected by childhood cancer, either survivors themselves or their siblings. That's because we know that diagnosis impacts the entire family. So to date, we've been able to provide over 370 scholarships, giving more than $3 million to alleviate some of that financial strain. And we're excited to talk to you today because we're now opening up applications for next fall's school year, where we're going to be awarding an additional $500,000 of scholarships. So 50 students, a mix of both siblings and survivors themselves, will be able to receive up to $10,000 in college scholarships.
So what kind of changes or success stories are you seeing from the students who have received these scholarships in the past?
Yeah, at the biggest level, right, it's allowing all of these students to follow their dreams. But something that's really been interesting and surprising to us is that nearly half of our scholarship recipients are pursuing careers in healthcare. So whether they're inspired to be a doctor or a nurse or a researcher, they're trying to follow in the footsteps of those who've impacted their lives and impact more people's lives going forward. You know, in our journey around childhood cancer space, we know it can sometimes be a little bleak. So we try to find moments of joy, whether it's breakthroughs in cancer research or a child being declared cancer-free, and we call these golden moments. And we really think that the number of our scholarship recipients who are going into the medical field is one of those golden moments.
And for the families who think that they can or may qualify, where can they go to check out eligibility and even apply themselves?
Yeah, they should go to the Northwestern Mutual Foundation website, which is nmfoundation.com. And we're accepting applications for the program until February 2nd.
Steve Radke, I want to thank you for joining me this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Gift cards always feel like the fallback, right? But new study says there's a lot of people trading them in for something a little more digital. Nearly 1 in 4 Americans say they've given or thinking about giving crypto this holiday season. Ali Tagger from the National Cryptocurrency Association is here to break down why this trend is growing and what's new for crypto learners and what they should know. Ali, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing okay. You got this new study. What did the study find?
Of course. So the National Cryptocurrency Association teamed up with PayPal to find out how are people thinking about crypto this holiday season. And what we found is that crypto is actually a trending holiday gift, especially compared to gift cards. So about a quarter of U.S. adults told us that they have already given or thinking about giving the gift of crypto, while about 1 in 5 say that they would rather receive crypto than a gift card. And among current crypto holders, that is even higher, with about 2/3 of them planning on gifting crypto and about half expecting to receive it themselves as a gift.
All right, there you go. So what are some of the top 5 reasons people prefer crypto over gift cards?
People are turning to crypto over gift cards for plenty of reasons. It is more flexible to spend. You don't just have to spend it at one store by the end of the year, so it won't expire. You can also invest it, so it'll potentially grow in value over time. People also told us that it is easier, faster, more fun and exciting to send, spend, receive, and manage. Plus, it comes with fewer fees, increased privacy, and faster processing, which works out better for both the shopper and the merchant.
So how easy is it to buy crypto as a gift, and what advice do you have for the, I guess, crypto curious?
It's easier than ever to give crypto, especially it's becoming increasingly mainstream. And so that's why the NCA and PayPal are excited to team up to make it super simple and accessible for everyone everywhere to be able to participate. So for the crypto curious, check out our website, nca.org, where we've got lots of great free resources that'll teach you the basics without any of the confusing hype or jargon or complexity. So we've got some 101 courses and lessons and modules to help you understand what crypto is, how it works, and what you can do with it. We've also got a weekly podcast called Crypto Explained that cuts through the noise even more, demystifies common crypto topics and questions that we hear all the time, and features interviews with guests who are using the tech in their real lives, as well as the people who are building it behind the scenes. And then last but not least, when you're starting to feel a little bit more crypto confident, we've also got a hands-on risk-free simulator that actually lets you mirror all of the real behaviors of setting up a crypto wallet, making your first transaction, sending crypto out, but it is not connected to real funds. So it is a completely safe sandbox for you to learn in.
Ali, I want to thank you for, I guess, making us crypto current. All right, I was trying to go for another pun there. It wasn't working for me. All right, one more time. Any quick place that we could go learn for more?
NCA.org to learn more, and check out the PayPal app, which lets you buy, send, hold, and do lots more with crypto and beyond. Together, NCA and PayPal are making crypto accessible and simple this holiday season and beyond.
Allie, thanks for joining us. You are the key to crypto. I'm trying to throw in more, so it wasn't working. Do you ever feel like the holidays turn your kitchen into command central? You know, between the cooking, the cleaning, and trying to make everything feel magical, it could get overwhelming extremely fast. Chef and TV personality Claire Robinson has a knack for simplifying all of that with some smart preps, simple traditions, and a few tools that make hosting a heck of a lot easier. Claire, I want to thank you for joining me today. How are you?
I am great. I'm thrilled to be speaking with you. Hopefully, I'm going to make your holiday season a breeze.
I need that help, absolutely. Usually, when you think about entertainment during the holidays, what are some moments that kind of make it special for you?
Well, it's absolutely that. It's the moments. I love bringing people together. There is nothing more special than making memories. And let's face it, most of those memories are made in the kitchen. So I embrace that. Cooking is a connection point. So when you're at my house, you're going to be cooking with me. I like to have people keep an eye on a pot on the stove or watch the cookies in the oven, like cook with me.
This time of year, so many people feel stressed, not just in the kitchen, but what are some few simple habits that can really take that pressure off?
Oh, goodness. The pressure is what we do to ourselves half of the time, but it is overwhelming, even for me as a professional chef. The ways to avoid that stress would be it's simple. It's planning. It's a lot of planning. It's planning, prepping, lists. Lists are going to be your new best friend. And there's nothing more satisfying than checking off a list, like scratching through. It feels so good. But for me, the most important part is the planning. When you're planning the menu, right? We don't think about the menu as much as we should. When it comes to the menu, you really need to think about your appliances. Think about your oven space, your countertop space, your stovetop space. Do you have enough room for the menu that you're planning? Can all of those dishes be heating at the same time at the very end, even if you're able to make some of them advance? You want to make sure that all of your food is together, hot at one time being served. Also, get to know your appliances, both functionally and stylistically. A lot of times your appliances can do a lot of the work for you and take some of that stress away.
And the kitchen usually becomes that gathering place during the holidays. How do we create a space that just feels personal, warm, and maybe even inviting?
That's a great question. I think the key word there was personal. Your kitchen is a reflection of you and your personal styles. So make sure that it is. This is the time of year your appliances are doing heavy lifting, and they are really the star of not only the workload, but your kitchen environment. And since everybody is in the kitchen with you, this is the time to give them a little spruce, like a sprucing, I guess is the best way to put it. The new major appliance line by KitchenAid is incredible because it does just that. It welcomes personalization and customization. The new juniper color is my absolute favorite. It's this beautiful neutral hue behind me. It's this mixed blue-green color. Now I can take that neutral and pop it with a brass or a bronze or a classic stainless hardware, which is basically the knobs and the handles. You can also do a matte black or personalize it, customize it to what reflects your style. Just as you think about the menu that you're serving, the clothes that you're wearing, also think about the design that you're reflecting in your kitchen. And it's a very affordable, approachable way for you to make a big change to your entire kitchen.
And you mentioned hosting helpers. How can smarter appliances actually make cooking and cleanup easier for busier families?
Oh my goodness, smart appliances are so smart. It's just wild. They are going to work me right on out of a job as a professional chef because it's like professional chef minds inside the appliances. They can really do a lot for you now. You can tackle a new recipe just by finding the function in the oven or our multifunctional microwave. I can't even call it a microwave anymore because it does so many things: dehydrate, air fry, convectional oven, all in one piece of equipment. Smart equipment can work for you, so let it. Get to know what these appliances can do for you. Next gen induction downdraft, it sounds a mouthful, right? But what it really does, it's an exhaust system that takes away the smells, the steam, the smoke, and it does it in this smart, instant way. It's really incredible how far we have come. and smart appliances, and you don't need a manual to work them. They are very user-friendly.
And for anyone that's wanting to dive deeper in some of your tips, maybe explore some of the tools that you mentioned, where should they go?
Well, for some inspiration for this holiday season, and hopefully for some flair to add a little flair to your kitchen, go to KitchenAid.com, and you're going to see what all of the little wonderful tips I've been talking about.
Claire, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Sometimes car shopping feels like chasing a moving target, especially with sticker prices creeping higher pretty much every year. But there's a new solid list of cars under $30K, and this year's list covers everything from hybrids to family SUVs, and we're joined by Joe Bruzek, Managing Editor, Director at Cars.com, to break down which models rose to the top. So welcome to the show. Joe, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
All right, Joe, I'm looking at this list, but for you, what jumped out to you the most?
What's really interesting about this list is the variety of cars. Like you mentioned, there's hybrids, there's SUVs, but also you can get a lot of technology in this price range. You know, you're not driving a bucket of bolts, or you're not driving a clown car. You know, there are substantial feature-packed cars in this price range. And our editors, we've driven these, we've tested these. So these are our picks for under 30,000, cars that we would recommend to our friends and family.
So when you narrowed the field, what really separated the winners from the rest in that price range?
Yeah, so we were looking for cars that consumers could actually go out and find. You know, you'll often see a deal on something and it only applies to a needle in a haystack car that you can't find. Well, we wanted cars that were available in the thousands, so anyone in the country could go find one. So that was a big part of our criteria here. We looked at national dealership listings of cars that are available to find those. Also, we excluded anything that had known poor crash test ratings because we want to recommend cars that people will feel comfortable driving, cars that you'll feel comfortable driving with your family in.
And for the shoppers that are wanting to stay on budget, what trade-offs should they be keeping in mind?
So you're not going to find massaging seats or perfume dispensers in these cars. What you are going to find, though, are vehicles that are bigger than you would expect. So you think compact, you think subcompact, you think small, but really these cars are much larger than they were 10, 15 years ago. So you don't have to make that trade-off. You can get a lot of size for the money.
And does going more affordable still mean giving up like that cool, like I know that you just mentioned massaging seats and perfume dispensers, but is there other in tech that everybody wants now that you could be missing out on?
No, these cars are going to come with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and that's a feature we know consumers love. They're features that we love. That's going to take your smartphone's capabilities like navigation and apps and hands-free calling, and that's going to put it right in the screen of the car, so it's totally accessible. Also, the Chevy Equinox on this list, it comes with heated seats and a heated steering wheel, standard for those in colder climates, but it's still a really good set of features for the money.
And I know we're here at the end of the year. I used to work at a car dealership, and I knew that was that sweet spot when the new cars were coming in and the old ones were getting out, and it's kind of a good place to get some good deals. Is this the sweet spot for the calendar year where car shoppers tend to get the best deals, from your opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. End of the year, anytime dealers are motivated to sell, like you said, that model year changeover is a huge time, and buyers will have to pay attention to when the car they're looking at is going through that changeover, because it doesn't happen at one time during the year anymore. It happens throughout the year. Cars have a product cycle that, are different from each other. So you really have to identify like when the Honda Civic is making that model year changeover. Are there changes that are worth paying more for, or can you go for the older model year and save some money?
And can you walk us through some of the cars that you got on set today?
Yeah, one of the cars I'm really excited to share is the Toyota Corolla Hybrid behind us. Now, this is a $26,000 car that gets up to 50 miles per gallon. And compared to the average fuel economy of a new car, that's going to save you thousands of dollars over the lifespan of the vehicle. So the Corolla is something that's super excited. I'm super excited to see on this list. Also, that Chevy Equinox, that's a compact SUV. That's an SUV that's going to be good for small families. It fits car seats really well, and it is just under $30,000 for that entry trim level.
All right, and finally, where can viewers go to dig in for that full list, my friend?
Yeah, you can read the full list at cars.com/news.
Joe, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thanks. Appreciate the opportunity.
The holidays feel magical. Lots of lights, great food, and way too many photos of our pets in sweaters. Okay, maybe there's not enough. We need more. But all that fun comes with some hidden risks for our cats and dogs. Today, we're joined by Dr. Susan Kimmel from the VCA Animal Hospitals to help us spot those dangers before they ruin the season. Dr. Kimmel, welcome to the show. How are you, my friend?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so what are some of the most common holiday hazards pet owners should be keeping an eye on once they're having family, friends, and all that stuff going on for the holidays?
Yeah, well, some of the most common hazards are those right in our homes, the decorations that we're using to make things festive. So we want to opt for shatterproof ornaments and avoid the tinsel altogether. Those things can be very dangerous for our pets if they ingest them. And also think about any ornaments that might be edible, salt dough ornaments or popcorn balls and strings of cereal. You want to make sure those are all hung high up on the tree where they can't get to them. Other things that pets may try to ingest are things like ribbon and wrapping paper. So make sure those are all cleaned up right away when you're unwrapping the presents. And I'd also mention just fire hazard of things like a fireplace this time of year or candles that are lit. Your pets can get burned just like you and I can. So make sure that they are not able to get near them, especially when they're not supervised.
I remember having a dog as a child that used to eat the tinsel, and we'd find it coming out the other end still intact, which wasn't good. We also hear about poinsettias. What are some other risks that come from trees and holiday plants?
Yeah, so poinsettias, as well as some of the other festive plants like amaryllis and holly, mistletoe, and lilies, those can all cause some gastrointestinal upset if a pet ingests them. So we want to make sure that they can't access them at all. And as far as the tree, most trees themselves are not toxic to pets, but the water in the base of the tree, if you have a live tree, that can contain a lot of chemicals like fertilizers and also mold and bacteria. Pets do tend to try to drink out of that, so you want to make sure that they cannot get there and drink that water. That can be dangerous for them.
Okay, and also holiday food. It's everywhere. What are the most dangerous things that a pet might eat, and what should owners do to if it does happen?
Yeah, so we want to make sure they don't get into things like onions, grapes, and raisins, chocolate, and xylitol, which is a sugar-free sweetener. It might be in some sugar-free sweets. If pets get into any of that, that should be considered more of an emergency. And you're going to want to have a conversation with your veterinarian and possibly even an emergency visit. And this time of year, VCA offers 50% off one ER visit, which can be really helpful if you find yourself in this unexpected situation.
And why can leftovers and table scraps be especially risky for pets this time of year?
Well, it's really year round, but this time of year, people, have all this wonderful food and they want to, spoil their pets and give them a little something under the table. But they're not used to this food and it can be fattier and richer. And it's just if they're not used to eating the food, it can upset their stomach. So we don't want to give them gastrointestinal upset by giving them this food. So tell your guests not to feed them under the table.
And what about for those cold weather walks, and what other extra precautions should owners be taking?
Oh, yeah, that's really important, too. So in the cold weather, pets can be cold just like you and I can. And although there are some breeds that really love the cold and are used to the cold, a lot of them don't love it. And they can get cold just being outside like you and I can. So they should probably have a sweater or a jacket on. And don't forget about their feet. Booties can protect their feet from the snow and the ice and even the salt. And I'd also add this time of year, it's just darker in the morning and the evening when we take them for walks. So stick to the well-lit paths and maybe opt for some reflective clothing for not only you, but also your pet, so they're visible.
So if you're traveling, don't forget about the salt out there. That's
absolutely
when walking your pets. Absolutely. Okay. Finally, where can people learn for more information?
Yes, please. I would encourage you to go to vcaholiday.com. And at that site, you'll find a lot of tips and a lot of the stuff we talked about, but also a 50% off coupon for an ER visit. And I'd also add, this is a fantastic time of year to think about the new year and starting it healthy for your pets with making sure they have their annual wellness visits and any necessary vaccines or preventative care. If you need a veterinarian, VCA does offer first exams free for new clients, and also a membership called Care Club that offers exclusive discounts. First of all, unlimited exams, but also unlimited emergency visits if you find yourself in one of those unexpected situations this holiday season.
I want to thank you for joining me this morning, Dr. Kimmel.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
You ever have a breakup where the dog took it a little harder than you did? There's a new rom-com that leans into that idea with a very good boy caught in the middle of the world's most awkward co-parenting situation. So today, we're hanging out with Patricia Heaton and David Hunt in the new Prime Video movie Merv, where fixing the dog's broken heart might just spark something between the humans too. Patricia, David, hey, how you guys doing today?
We're doing great. Thank you.
You're doing great. Thanks.
All right, so for the people that haven't seen the trailer yet, what is the heart of Merv and kind of what pulled you both towards this story?
Well, Merv is about a dog who's depressed because his parents, played by Zoe Deschanel and Charlie Cox, have broken up. And so they're sharing custody of him, and he's not doing well. He's a little depressed. And so it's about their journey to try to help Merv adjust to the situation, and about them mending their relationship.
And the movie treats the dog's perspective with so much humor and warmth. How did that dynamic shape your characters playing the parents?
Who? I'm not sure.
Our characters are really concerned more about the relationship between
we
Anna
play the
and
same
Russ.
sort of role in the sense we're trying to bring the couple back together again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're a little bit depressed that they're broken up also. We're like Merv. Yeah. So that's kind of our dynamic, and we want to see them get back together.
And there's like a thread of healing throughout healing through joy that kind of runs throughout the film. And as the parents trying to bring them together, what captured that feeling for you two?
Well, I think, for the Christmas season, it's really important, especially with things that are going on in the world today, to have that kind of joy, to have a reminder to be grateful for your family, to be grateful for your relationships, and try to be kind, just spread kindness in the world. So that's really kind of what attracted us.
Yeah. To be grateful for your own life, as well as that of your family. But it's important to spark a conversation. And if it takes a dog to have people start talking to each other, I think that's a wonderful thing. We could use a lot more of that in the world right now.
And both of you have, I guess, incredible chemistry on screen, because it happens off screen as well. What's it like building this world as a real life couple in a movie and kind of maintaining that chemistry?
Well, how many years have we been married? 35?
Do we have to really tell everybody?
Well,
that?
it's just every year on our
were 12 when we
anniversary,
got married.
we wake up and we are like, that's enough,
that's
right?
enough, right?
That's long
Yeah,
enough.
yeah.
There's nothing new to figure out. But I think, chemistry probably brings people together. And then it's about like accepting and creating history together through your family, through your experiences. And then just really appreciating and being able to look back on just sort of this wonderful life that you've been given.
The journey is
the journey.
The journey is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every holiday movie has that moment that kind of sticks with audiences. What do you hope people walk away with after watching Merv?
I think just, as I said, to learn to be kind, learn to communicate, be patient with each other, give people grace to figure things out, and just be there for each other.
Can we set aside our differences long enough to actually talk to each other?
Yeah.
That's what I would like people to go away with.
Yeah.
All right, I want to thank you two for joining me this morning. Merv is arriving on Prime Video December 10th. Grab the family, grab the dog. Hopefully they're not depressed, and make sure you stream it right at home. I want to thank you two for joining me today.
Thanks for
you.
having us.
Thanks.
Hey, I want to thank you for tuning in to Rise Unwind. If you want to be part of the show, just go to our website, riseunwindtv.com, fill out the form, send it in. Maybe you could be on a future episode. We're on social media, Facebook and Instagram. Plus, you can find our YouTube channel at Rise Unwind. And until next week, that was the show we like to call Rise and Unwind.